Hey Peak Freaks, it's Mark here. How you doing all? Been a long time since we've done our last podcast. I think this is podcast number 10, and we've got the pleasure of our good friend and supporter, Aaron LeBoutillier, who is the owner and founder of the Tree Roots Resorts in Rayong here in Bangkok. And what a place this is, mate. Congratulations, you've done a fantastic job. How did this all come about?
It started off, I bought a plot of land over there, that plot over there, which is quite small.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'll buy a plot of land and I'll build a few rooms, and then I'll build a little boxing ring, and then I'll build a little Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu area, and then I'll build a little coffee shop, and then I'll build a little library, and then I'll build a swimming pool. So I had all of these ideas, and then one day I decided to measure out how all of this was going to fit on my little plot of land I bought over there. And I realized that my plot of land was big enough for like 2 buildings, and forget about everything else. So I thought, okay, I could either scrap the idea or I could buy more land. So I bought the next plot, and then I started measuring out and realized I needed more land. So I bought this plot that we're sitting in now, and then realized I needed a little bit more land, so then I bought that plot. So now we've got everything, and you know what? It fits, right?
Yeah.
It all fits into place.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's almost like you've put a lot of forethought into it when you've really gone the other way around, right?
I kind of like had the idea, and then I said to a few close friends and family about my concept, and they said, okay, do you have a business plan? Which I said no. They said, do you have the money to build it? Which I said no. And they said, my advice is don't do it. You have no business plan, you have no money. It's a very big project you're talking about. It's not like a small thing. I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of pounds investment, and you don't have any money. So great idea, but be careful. So when everyone told me not to do it, of course, this was the perfect reason to do it. So I did it, and it wasn't easy because I didn't have the money. The builder was, I'm not going to say stupid enough, but just assumed that I had the money. So he started building, and then when I had a little bit of money, I gave it to him. And then it just so happened, it was good luck, that every time he finished one of the buildings, I had a good security contract, my other businesses were doing well, I had some money. It was just all perfect timing from beginning to end.
Yeah, sometimes the unplanned just works itself out, doesn't it?
It just happened.
So what's your core background, Aaron?
My background is I came to Thailand when I was 20 as a backpacker, and I ended up on Got PP Island, where I dug holes for a few months to make money, and then I worked in a bar to make some money, and then I worked in a dive shop to make some money because I had no education, left school at 16, and I was like that for many years. Just going for teaching English, of course, default setting, did that for a while, and then at around 26.
You ran a bar as well, right?
Yeah, I had a bar. Then I bought a bar, and that didn't work out very well for me. So I left. I went to Japan. I got involved in some security business in Japan, working for a famous hostess bar called One Eye Jack's in Roppongi. Right. That also didn't work out so well for me. So I returned to Jersey, which is where I come from, Jersey, not New Jersey, the original Jersey, between England and France. And I joined the police force, much to the amazement of everybody, because I certainly didn't come from a background that would segue into being a police officer, because I'd been some crazy guy in Thailand between 20 and 25. So I joined the police force and had an, interesting career. Not particularly long, but nevertheless very interesting. And I left the police force and came to Thailand at 30 and got a contract with the Royal Thai Police, training defensive tactics. Then got a job in the airline industry, teaching onboard security. Set up a security company, and between 30 and 43, 44, had a successful security career with my company in Singapore and Thailand, and built up a name for myself, and decided that with some of the money that I seemed to be making, I would put it into a real passion of mine, which was basically collecting books, artwork, interior design, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, martial art, movement yoga, anything kind of cardiovascularly associated with something I was always interested in. So The original concept was born from integrating passions of art, philosophy, meditation, soft skill, and seeing how they could be blended into the rather more physical, hard, let's say hard stuff of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu boxing. And what I realized is that actually they blend perfectly. You know, you speak to any boxer, they'll say the slower you are, softer you are, the better you are, right? So yeah, so that's how it all came about.
Yeah, essentially the gym setup and the gym mentality, particularly here in Thailand, is one of get in there, do it hard, do it for 50 minutes, do it in the morning, do it in the afternoon, do it in the night time, and doesn't have that blend of what you've sort of talked about. And it's you know, I found it really comforting the last couple of days here, being able to sort of piece all that stuff together. So you are quite unique in a sense, because I've not come across this.
I think a lot of people or a lot of businesses, they tend to go down the soft path, meaning there'll be a Tai Chi camp or a yoga retreat, and it will be very soft. You'll hand in your mobile phone when you check in, and there'll be Tibetan music playing, and people hit a gong, and kind of like, you know, go through that whole thing. It's very, very soft.
Yeah.
Or you go to a full-on MMA camp, hard training, cardio, strong, and that's it. So where is it where you can go where you enjoy both? That means you enjoy the softness of doing some movement, some yoga, listening to the sounds of nature as we have around us right now, discovering more about your insecurities, discovering more about yourself and what makes you tick. But at the same time, being able to hit a punch bag for 20 minutes, roll with someone for 20 minutes, do some conditioning and really exercise. And the point about that is that you start to realize that the buzzword of mindfulness, mindfulness can be achieved through high intensity workout. And a lot of people find this strange to contemplate, but mindfulness, normally people will go into a room which is quiet and they will light a candle and bong, and listen to the music. And at the end of that session, you know what? They find peace. They understand something about living in the moment. And it's very successful for them. That one day at the retreat was very successful for them. When they go to work on Monday, it all falls apart. Why does it fall apart? Because life is not like the quiet room with the candle and the soft music. Life is frenetic, it's crazy, it can be good, it can be bad. You go through trauma, you lose people in your family, you have bad experiences at work, you have bad experiences with your partner. It's chaotic. So if you can find mindfulness through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right, which you had your first lesson yesterday, right? So you can appreciate. If you're going through that with me at 97 kilos on top of you, moving around, and you're feeling claustrophobic, and you're feeling like, oh, I don't like it, but somehow you can breathe and relax and be mindful, live in the moment, and wait for me to make a mistake, and then get out of the position that I put you in. Well, if you can apply that in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or in boxing, then you can apply that in the real world. So mindfulness, 100%, you can achieve it through doing martial arts. And if you look at the history of martial arts, especially the Japanese lineage, the samurai, the old school, exactly what that warrior was. He was someone that was totally calm, and he got that calmness through the samurai way, which was not particularly a soft way.
No.
It was a tough life, but in that toughness, they found the softness. And that's what I'm trying to achieve here.
It was interesting because when I rolled for the first time with you, I was sore after it, and it wasn't long, but I did feel different. I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. It felt like, and I wasn't saying that to be funny either, because at 97 you're not a small boy, but it just felt like, shit, I've done something here. I've achieved something. You know, I can go on and do it again, achieve it again. But how did your martial arts sort of interest or career kick off? Where did it all begin? Did it start with BJJ?
No, not at all. This is very new for me, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, you know, I'm just a blue belt, which in the journey of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is kind of like, maybe I've just left kindergarten, you know, maybe just. So my martial art career starts from way back when I was maybe 12 or 13, and growing up on Jersey in the 1980s, there was 100% no Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or MMA. There was Judo, Aikido, Kempo Karate, or Kung Fu.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that I found myself going to a Kung Fu class. Why did I go to a Kung Fu class? I don't know. That was just the class that I happened to go to. It could have easily been one of the other ones, of the traditional ones. And, you know, I got sucked into that Shaolin Kung Fu thing, David Carradine, the series, you know, that whole kind of concept.
There's a era, right?
Yeah, like a soft guy walking across the desert, and he was super cool, but then if you crossed him, you know, he kicked your ass. So, of course, as a schoolboy at 14, and being a very kind of like delicate 14-year-old, of course, you know, martial arts always appeals to that insecure guy. I mean, it's something a lot of people don't like to talk about, but it appeals to the insecure guy when you're 14 and you're getting bullied at school, and everyone else maybe is developing quicker than you are. You go to swimming lesson, everyone's hairy, and you're still, you know, 14. And then there's this guy, David Carradine. He's like, I want to be like him. So, of course, I went on the journey to be like David Carradine.
That's where it started.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
And then that was the beginning, you know. And then from then I discovered another system called Wing Chun, or Yong Chun, they call it in Chinese. And then that absorbed me for some time. And then I joined the police force, and that introduced me to defensive tactics, and, you know, that kind of absorbed me for a time. And then when I was a little bit older, maybe in my 30s, I started hanging around with a guy called Adam Kayung who trains in Bangkok, and, you know, he's become, you know, a very close friend and a mentor to me in that genre in my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu life. And then I got introduced to that, and then, you know, now at 40, coming up to 47, it's kind of like just a whole combination of stuff. But what drives me now is more direct stuff, you know. Put on the boxing gloves and box, or get on the mat and roll. There's a kind of rawness about it. There's a kind of no bullshit thing about it that appeals to me, because you either roll with someone and you win or you lose. There's no, you know, and that's nice, keep you humble.
But you use your mind as well, right? This is not all about just getting out
Well,
there and boxing.
There's a huge misconception. You know, if somebody goes boxing or they do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and remembering I'm still early on in my journey, right, on this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu boxing path, but what I've learned so far is there's a huge misconception that it's two people boxing for example, just jab, jab, cross, hook, jab, jab, cross, and there's just two people. But actually, when you go up against somebody who knows what they're doing, they have an absolute game. Their breathing is perfect. They know their range. They know where you are in relation to them, knowing that they will use these types of punches. You come in close, they realise the range has changed, they've changed their combinations, so instead of long jabs and long, you know, like a long uppercut, everything becomes tighter, because they understand the range. They're technical, they understand. And the person that has no game, the guy that just spends an hour hitting a punch bag and nothing else, doesn't appreciate breathing, doesn't appreciate range, doesn't appreciate what weapons to use in the range, then they lose. Just like when you have a game of chess, you can't just storm the chessboard and like, yeah, I'm going to forge forward with my king and blast everyone out of the way, because someone that has a strategy is going to go, okay, bop, 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 bang, checkmate.
And how hard is it do you do any personal training for people? Do you have one-on-one clients that you do personal training for?
Well, I mean, I have people that come here one-on-one, but of course, it depends on whereabouts they are on their journey. So, because I'm pretty new on my journey, the people that do one-on-one with me are really early on in their journey. For me, most of the people I'm training with are further down the path than I am.
Right.
So, which I also enjoy, because, you know, you always want to aspire. Well, different personalities, but for me, I always like to surround myself with people that are better than I am in whatever it is that we're discussing at the time. And then that gives me something to push towards, right?
Yeah, sure. So, just going back to your younger days, came out to Thailand as a backpacker, did a couple of things that didn't work out, so you had a couple of failures, fair to say, and you used the word trauma early on, and that's something that makes people either change for the much better or change for the worse, to the point where they get into depression and all sorts of different things. I want to talk a little bit about your trauma on Koh Phi Phi with the tsunami,
Right.
because knowing you for a while now, not too long, but long enough
Right.
to understand that that had a major impact on your life. Just tell us a little bit about what happened that day.
I think, I can summarize what happened. What happened was Mother Nature released all of her energy. I happened to be there with people that meant a lot to me, and they all died. I survived. It was a humbling experience. It was an experience that I'm so happy that I had. To actually to feel the power of Mother Nature, and to realise our insignificance. To realise that one morning I'm sitting there like we are now, with your son, with your family, everyone is happy. But the reality is, if Mother Nature decides that she wants to have a little hiccup,
Bang.
we're gone. We're gone. In the blink of an eye. And that is very energizing, to realise one's insignificance. It makes you a better person, in my opinion.
So you wake up every morning, you look at what you've got here, and you think, "Wow,
Well, once I've had a coffee.
yeah, or two. You like espressos, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not philosophical and at all in the morning until I've had an espresso.
No.
In fact, I'm not anything until I've had an espresso.
Fair enough. But how did it change your life? I mean,
You know what? I was always a pretty crazy, happy-go-lucky Sagittarian before the tsunami. So did it change me in my personality? No, I've always been like this. Did it make me more humble? Yes. Did it make me appreciate my life more? I was always pretty grateful for my life. Did it put things into perspective for me? Yes. Has it given me the ability to experience a problem and know that that problem in the grand scheme of things is really not such a serious issue? I'll give you an example. When I did my ultra marathon through the Sahara, there were many times when I wanted to give up. I mean, I really wanted to give up, more than anything in my life. And what kept me going was I thought about my best friend who died in the tsunami, and his two daughters who also died in the tsunami with him. And I thought, just imagine that he was somehow on another level, and the conversation was this: do you want to come back and live, right, with your two daughters? You've got the choice. And to do that, to relive your life, all you have to do is finish this race. And you get your life back and your two daughters. And you just need to walk another 150 kilometers. What, do you think he would walk 150 kilometers? To get his life back and to live his life with his two daughters? It wouldn't even be, even if you chopped his legs off, he would crawl to the finish line. And then when you have that experience and you think, okay, Aaron, I want to give up this race, but he lost his life and he doesn't have a life with his two daughters. Come on, man, just put it into perspective. At least you're in the Sahara, enjoying the beauty of the Sahara. You might not be very happy at this point in time. Right? You may want to give up, but you're alive and you're experiencing it, which is more than he has. And times like that, sip of water, take a couple of almonds and a prune.
Bang, salt
Bang.
tablet.
What? Salt tablet.
There you go.
Away you go.
But mate, it's interesting because we're sitting here, and you're right, we're sitting here with my son, looking forward to going back home to my family. You've got stuff to do here, and you spend a lot in Bangkok as well, right?
Yeah, half and half at the moment.
Okay, half and half. So we're all looking forward. But just let's go back to that day, because I remember I was in Australia. It was Boxing Day, right? It was a day after Christmas Day, and we're all chilling out, and my phone started going nuts, and everyone's saying, "Are you okay? Are you in Phuket?" What's this all about? And then I flicked on the news, and it was just all over the news.
Sure.
And the gravitas of it just didn't affect me. It was almost like, a couple, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 people died in the incident.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And there was 200,000.
And yeah, there's 200,000. And you've actually written a book. So it's called And Then One Morning. And it's interesting. I'm not a big reader. I'm selective in what I read. And I'm up to page 43. And it's
You've had the book for 3 years.
I've had the book for 3 weeks. And something inside me just doesn't want to go any further. I am going to go further.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to read about this because 200,000 people dying.
Yeah.
This is tragic.
It is tragic.
But we're here, going back to the point, we're here and we've got it planned out for the next month, 2, 3, but then something happens.
Right.
So what were you doing that day? Who were you with? What were you talking about? And then bang.
You have to tell your followers on the podcast to buy the book. I'm not going to give away the story.
A little bit.
Read the book.
A little bit.
Read the book.
Give us a couple of seconds.
Okay, couple of seconds. I mean, I'm there visiting my best friend and his 3 children, who was packing up 20 years of living on the island. He ran a dive shop, and I was there to help him. And basically, we had moved everything the day before, so everything was downstairs. And on Boxing Day, we were going to move all the stuff to his dive boat and take it to Phuket. And we hadn't moved anything yet because it was like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I just waking up. And in the afternoon, we were going to, take the bags, the big bags you buy in Thailand, full of all that 20 years worth of stuff. And we were going to go to Phuket. And I was just about to go downstairs and have a coffee with him and start to talk about the logistics of the day. 5 minutes later, they're all dead.
Wow.
Plus another 1,000 people on the island. I mean, PEAKME Island, around 3,000 people, and about 1,500 people died. So you're looking at absolutely 50-50 chance of survival when the tsunami hit. Tsunami hit fast, as most people now realise. It's not like it's
Bang.
building, concrete, everything collapsing. And why did I survive? Because roll of the dice. I mean, theologically, a lot of people say, wow, did you feel like, do you feel bad that they died and you didn't die, or do you feel like there was some kind of divine experience? And definitely not. I mean, I was kind of not a very religious person before, and certainly even more so after. Roll of the dice for me, right place. I turned left when other people turned right. I did that when they did that. It was such minute movements and minute situations. Like someone was standing on the staircase there, but they were 5 runs up on the staircase. Someone else was 3 runs up on the staircase. Vroom, gone, dead. The one on the 5th step, some minute things.
So there was timing, but there was luck, obviously.
There was luck. I must admit, I was very cognitive in when it happened. I was very cognitive.
Well, I was going to ask you that because there would have had to be, with a lot of people, a degree of cognitism, if you like.
A lot of people panicked. I mean, the building that I was in, that collapsed, everyone died in that building. I was the only person to get out of that building. And as I write in my book, when I came out of my room, there was a French couple that were hugging each other, and there was another, I think they were Italian, at the end of the corridor. And I was running up and down trying to figure out, because the building was about to collapse, the water was already at first floor level. It was complete chaos, I mean, that quick. And I remember being very cognitive about it. And I remember running onto the balcony part just as the building was about to collapse. And there's the post office next door that was on concrete posts, so it was kind of strong. The one we were on was like wooden.
Okay.
And I kind of jumped, not an Indiana Jones type jump across a canyon type thing, but that building went. When I jumped onto the post office, all of those people in there, gone. They were with me. I mean, but they were not cognitive.
Yeah.
They had absolutely frozen.
Yeah.
But my kind of DNA, chemical makeup was such that, no, I'm going to fight this. No.
Yeah.
I know you're a tsunami, but
yeah,
I ain't going.
Okay.
I can't do it to my mum. Again, I write about it in my book.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it to my mother. I owed it to my mother to stay alive. She would never forgive me if I would have died.
Yeah. I remember early parts of the book when you had some issues with your mum and dad trying to explain stuff. And
oh yeah, there was yeah.
They obviously love you very much, mate.
Yeah, it was just I was living in such a different life.
Yeah, no, it was.
They were from a small island off the coast of France, and I'm living on PEAKME Island.
Well, PEAKME, wasn't Jersey bigger than PEAKME?
Oh, way bigger.
Yeah,
PEAKME
okay.
is tiny.
Yeah, tiny.
But I mean, you come back to Jersey after 8 months in PEAKME at 21 years old.
Different world.
Forget it. Yeah. And I was all enthusiastic, telling everyone like, oh wow, I'm doing this, and oh my god, okay, Aaron, shut up.
It would have been an absolute blast. So when did you do? So you had that experience. We won't get into that anymore because it'll ruin the book, and I don't want to know the ending either. But it's a beauty, guys. Seriously, it is a beauty. What motivated you to do the Sahara run?
That was, this is an interesting one to answer, because the thing about surviving something like the tsunami makes you realize that the endorphins that I had when the tsunami hit were very high. So for someone who likes endorphins and adrenaline, I can't deny the tsunami experience was quite empowering. It was like I had a super drug. Do I miss the experience of the tsunami? Of course not. My friend died. But do I miss the chemical hit I got? Kind of. I mean, I survived a tsunami. It's a lot of endorphins.
Yeah.
So I was starting to feel like I wanted to do something. I needed an adventure. I needed to try and replicate the endorphins and the adventure and the adrenaline. And what a better way to do it than do the toughest foot race on the planet. I mean, everyone said to me, Marathon des Sables, it's like, this is the race for crazy people. 6 days across the Sahara, self-sufficient, take all your own food. 6 marathons, back to back. And I'd never even run a marathon. In fact, when I was at the start line of the Marathon des Sables, I'd never run a marathon in my life.
Wow.
But I was keen,
Yeah.
and I was eager to go. And that's the reason why I did it. Adventure.
How many years ago was that? 'Cause you're
2 years ago.
47, so you're
45.
45.
45,
It's
yeah.
not a young age to do that, right? No
Well,
matter how-
actually, most of the people on the Marathon des Sables, I think, as a demographic, it's not a young man's thing.
No.
I say young man, I mean there was kind of like 30% women, all of which did it quite faster than I did, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. It's not a young man's thing. It's normally people, because it's such a mental game.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people that are cardio through the roof in their 20s, but mentally they're not strong. I mean, I mostly wouldn't have been able to have done it if I hadn't had the tsunami experience. Because the reason I did it was I kept on thinking about my friend that died in the tsunami. My second father, I have 3 fathers, that's for another podcast. My second father died of cancer in my arms. So I kept on thinking about these experiences.
Yeah.
And would they want to be alive again? And if they could be alive again, all they had to do was finish this race, they'd finish it. So I used these life experiences to give me the strength to do it. It wasn't a cardio game.
No.
It was
Mental.
Aaron against Aaron game.
Yeah, the endorphins, interesting, because I was talking to a guy who did a podcast, BJ, and he's a big fan and supporter of PEAKME, and he was telling me that there are vast majority of people get an endorphin hit when they reward themselves by not doing something they do it.
Sure.
Well, you're the reverse, and it's interesting because when I rocked up here yesterday in the car, right, all bright and chirpy.
Yeah, and I wasn't chirpy.
I thought,
I was a grumpy
let's put it in reverse and get out of here because he doesn't want to see me.
Right,
And then it was interesting because as you were moving around the place, as you were getting stuff done, as you were sweating more, as we were getting closer to your 4 o'clock class, as we rolled a bit, after it, your eyes were popping out of your head.
Endorphins, mate.
And it's just, it's amazing how many unmotivated people there are out there.
Yeah.
Just, and one of my sort of biggest, I don't know, challenges or ventures is to try and get people more aware and motivated.
Yeah.
To get out and do stuff.
But they don't want to be. That's the problem. They say they want to be, but they don't really want to be.
But why?
I don't know. It's just I think the genetic makeup of the human is that we like to do nothing. We feel very comfortable doing nothing. We don't like to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
We like to get a stable job, a stable life. Know that if we work 9 to 5, our paycheck at the end of the month is this. Gives us a kind of sense of security. But some people are kind of hardwired the other way.
Yeah.
And they need to constantly be, where the hell's the money coming from?
Yeah.
I've got no pay salary, I've got to pay for all these things. But that feeling is what drives them. I'm definitely that guy.
Yeah.
I need to be constantly concerned and stressed about where money's coming from because that drives me to go out and get it.
Yeah. Sure.
Same with training. You know, I've been in Singapore for 2 weeks, as I said to you yesterday. I hadn't really done a lot because I've been busy working, and then I was running around here. I was kind of thinking about the 4 o'clock class. I was getting excited about it, but still I hadn't done anything for 2 weeks. So I felt like ashamed of myself.
That's terrible, yeah.
And then you walk up. I mean, there's nothing to do with you. I was happy to see you, but you know, you picked up on my energy. I was just down. I was like, oh, I've not done anything. I'm a bad boy.
Yeah.
Bad Aaron.
Yeah.
You know? And then you check in, we have a coffee, and then we start rolling, get the music on, and then
And you change.
and then the endorphins hit, and then you're trying to choke me out, and this is where I like to be living.
Yeah.
With bald guys from Australia trying to choke me out.
Not doing a good job.
Oh, it was good for a first attempt. It was good.
Yeah, no, I had fun. It was good. I encourage it. I mean, how do you? Is it a big martial arts apart from Muay Thai? Is it a big martial arts sort of centre here in Bangkok?
Oh, it's huge.
And Thailand?
There's some like top people over here.
Yeah.
I mean, really top people, and there's a huge community of traditional martial artists, a huge community of mixed martial arts or kind of new age type martial arts. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. Just going back to what interests me, the self-defence of the police force, and obviously not disclosing anything confidential about any particular police force. But what types of things do you sort of train them in? Because when I think of a policeman, I walk very quickly straight by them because I'm just mindful that they're going to pull out their gun and shoot you.
Yeah.
What do you train them in?
Well, it depends on which country, and it depends on what rank, and it depends on many different things.
Right.
But to answer it as a kind of overall, I try and teach police officers to be more confident in their own ability and to control their own emotions, so they are able to control other people's emotions. Meaning, communication for me is absolutely key. Training a police officer to be able to breathe right in a stressful situation and to be able to read that this person means you no harm, but they are so insecure that the only way for them to release their angst is through verbal abuse. And the threat of physical abuse, but the chances are the physical abuse won't come as verbal. So if you can just stay relaxed, talk to that person, and feed them your calming energy, then I believe there's a very good chance that they will calm down. Okay, you got a guy on crystal meth who suffers from bipolar schizophrenia that hasn't taken their medication, who's had a message from God to kill you, who's had a horrendous childhood. Okay, then
You got a challenge.
you've got a challenge. Okay, so I'm not so stupid to believe that love and cuddling is going to solve every problem. So what I teach people is explore that avenue, and if in that split second you feel it ain't going to happen, then resort to some solid defensive tactics. Not David Carradine. Solid basics. Good stance. Which is why I'm a great believer in the crazy monkey defense system that we teach here. That was invented by a guy called Rodney King out of Johannesburg. And this guy has come up with a system where there's no nonsense. You get into a stance which your body likes. You do a position that your body instinctively, for example, if a bomb goes off, what do you do with your hands? Do you do kind of like your head? Everyone does it instinctively. So if that's what your body does instinctively, would it not make sense that if someone attacks you quickly when you're not expecting it, that your defensive system's baseline is that you resort to this kind of like hand over the head, protect yourself, remain cognitive, breathe, and then start deciding on what to do next. As opposed to learning some martial art, if he jabs, you block with this hand, if he does this, you use this. There's too much going on, and the body is like, ugh! It needs to be simple. So yeah, that's what I tend to be doing with law enforcement agencies now. Communication, and then segueing into the defence systems that I've learned from Rodney King.
Okay, so this combination of the mental side and then the obviously application.
I mean that's the secret. You can't just teach communication skills because you can't be that stupid to think that everyone's going to like to cuddle.
Yeah.
And then you can't just teach physical because there are people that just need to cuddle.
Yeah.
So you need to teach both, and you need to teach people how to know when to cuddle and when to knock them out.
And is this a one? Yeah, sure. Is it a once-off thing, or do these guys go through regular?
Yeah, I mean the
training?
program that I run with Rodney. We did a training course in Thailand for the SWAT team up in the northeast, and we did a 2-day program, and we just taught them the basics. It was called the CIA program, which is Combat Intelligent Athlete, kind of like a civilian program, but we tailored it for law enforcement. And combat intelligence. And
Speaks for itself,
there
right?
it is, right? So it wasn't just 2 days of hitting punch bags and taking out battens and asps and hitting strike shields and everyone. Hoo-ah, hoo-ah. Think about what's going on here. Think about the chemicals that are being released in your body. Think about the chemicals being released in their body, and be smart about what you're doing. Be intelligent.
Yeah.
Have a plan.
What? It's interesting because combative intelligence could be seen as an oxymoron, right? Really.
Right.
When you go into sort of law enforcement, when you get your first job in law enforcement like you did back when you were 20, 25 on, what do you go through to almost not qualify you, but to put you in the best possible position for
Not
success?
enough. Is the answer. It's not enough. You take the average police officer, you know, they go through their training at whichever academy they go to, they learn the law, they learn lots of different things, they do a 2-week defensive tactics program. A lot of people have never done it before, they'll never do it again, they don't join the police force because they have a passion for martial arts. I mean, that's a very small part. And then you have a lot of police officers walking around that did 2 weeks training 10 years ago, and don't do anything to upgrade or to maintain. And you only have to look at YouTube clips of police officers around the world handling situations very badly when it comes to physical violence. Because, I mean, let's be honest, there's not a huge drive to train people on this kind of combat intelligent concept, which is what, you know, me and Rodney and some of the other instructors are trying to push.
Okay.
And a lot of people are liking it.
Right. So Rodney's in your security business as well?
No, and Rodney has his own business out of Johannesburg, so he has he's just finishing off a PhD in mind embodiment and other aspects, and he has a global group of followers of people teaching his program. Right. He has the Crazy Monkey program. He has Combat Intelligent Athlete,
which is this, right?
Which has this as a
funky t-shirt.
It's a funky t-shirt, and Combat Intelligent Soldier. And because of his PhD and because of his research, you know, there's a huge emphasis not just on the physical, but on, for example, what happens to your body when you breathe. Does breathing affect your attitude, your emotional behaviour? And we spoke about it briefly yesterday. I mean, it's the chicken or the egg. Do you breathe a certain way which makes you scared, or are you scared which makes you breathe in that? Which is it? And if you can box or do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you feel yourself, you can learn to change your breathing, then your breathing will change
behaviour.
Yeah. And these are things that are important to a police officer, because, you know, if you're in a situation where someone's on crystal meth and they want to kill you, you need to be able to control your breathing. Before you even think about the David Carradine manoeuvre, I mean, get your breathing working, right?
Yeah. And they don't train any of that in law enforcement?
Not historically. I mean, now people are starting to realise that there is a huge amount of benefit in these things. It's still a relatively new concept for a lot of people.
Okay. You do work in the airline industry as well, and that was your first gig when you got out here with Singapore Air, right?
No, I did stuff before, but it was just kind of the idea of taking professional people from the corporate world that had to deal with the public. Anyone that interfaces with the public have the potential to be assaulted. You work in a bank and you're behind the counter, people get upset about the banking system and the fact that they can't do this, and people get assaulted. Everyone should have a basic understanding of de-escalation skills, tactical communication skills, your breathing pattern, and worst case scenario, if someone grabs you, how to break free. If someone tries to hit you, how to at least cover until someone comes to help. I mean, just basic stuff. So for me as a businessman, there's a huge market.
Huge market.
Everybody.
Yeah, it's amazing. Let's get back to this place, mate. I want to actually just show our followers what you've actually done here, because this is a very unique concept. So, do you mind if we just take a tour?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, sure.
Let's do that, mate.
You want to start with the rooms?
Mate, you start wherever you want to start. I'm easy. I'll put my flip-flops on because...
Okay.
Where are they? Oh, I see. Under there.
Alright guys, so just wait for Ma to put his flip-flops on. Okay, follow me. Come this way. So we'll start at the bottom and we'll work our way up. Watch the step, man. Okay, so we're now walking through a little passageway which is going to take us to the 9 bungalows. So let's just start off. So when people arrive, okay, people get out of the taxi, this is the first thing they see, right? So they come through here, they see that they got 3 push bikes to get them to the beach. They're immediately met by the receptionist. She's a little ugly, but she does a good job. They see that, you know, there's artwork. Don't know if you can see the artwork there, right? So lots of nice artwork. And then your first introduction to the fact that wherever you look in this retreat, there are books. You cannot escape, there are books everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Even under the boxing ring.
Yeah. And then they see that, you see personal mastery through the art of movement. You see that? And there's me there. Got the same t-shirt on. I've only got 1 t-shirt. Can't afford 2 t-shirts.
Actually, I didn't notice that.
There you go.
Good pickup.
There you go. What, that I can't afford 2 t-shirts?
No, but you've got the same t-shirt on.
Okay, so come through. So now we enter the kind of like the swimming pool bungalow area. You can see the swimming pool. It's not the swimming pool, it's not the Olympic swimming pool. Okay, this is a swimming pool. You've done 2 hours of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you've done an hour of crazy monkey boxing, you're tired, you want to jump in the pool with a gin and tonic. There you go.
That's the one.
That's the one. Okay? And then we come down here. We'll start with, we'll just do bungalow number 1, right? So come through here. The place is called Tree Roots Retreat. You see there's tree roots
Everywhere.
everywhere. Look at this big tree root here.
So Aaron, can you actually expect, is this expandable land? And I know you don't want to get too big.
Well, no,
because
so someone, I mean, of course everybody owns everything. So
Yeah.
this land is owned by people. But, you know.
Look at this, guys. I mean, easy, just focus on here, mate. Look at this. You got tree roots, you've got a beautiful villa, you've got pool, you've got a gym, you've got cows. Mate, it's brilliant. I mean,
There
you
you go.
think you're millions of miles away from everywhere.
Sure.
Unbelievable. It's going to, we're in the Villa 1, right?
Yeah, so this one is just being made up at the moment. So it's, you know, not finished feeling yet, but you get an idea. Okay, come in. So we've got like a little mezzanine area upstairs and a little wooden staircase with all your books in, nice Persian carpet and lots of artwork and books everywhere.
That's beautiful. Look at this. I didn't actually notice that. Lovely ceilings. All air-conned. Fantastic.
Yeah?
You've got a Bon Cafe machine.
Oh yeah, each room has its own coffee machine, complimentary coffee.
I had 4, mate.
Bloody hell.
Charge that to the rooms.
I'm going to have to. Okay, so that's the rooms. So now we're going to walk back up the way we came to the workout area. Okay. Watch the step, Mr. Video Man. Okay, so we're making our way back up.
What is it?
The 1970s arcade machine.
Yeah, what type of game is it? We looked at that last night.
I just got this, got like 30 games on it.
Oh, has it?
So everything.
It's got Gallagher?
Possible, we can turn on and look.
I used to play that all the time.
But if you look over here, you'll see my mother.
Come
Look,
on, Mum.
there she is. There, look, she's hiding.
Saudi
She's
Cup.
like-
The Saudi Cup.
my wife is in there as well, but she ran off. Look, hiding.
Kumbim, come out here, please. Come on. This is a tour.
Hi.
Kumbim, hello.
Hi.
Okay, that's
Okay.
enough more on me.
It's all about Aaron, right? It's not about them, it's about Aaron.
Okay, so now we're entering my little play area. So first of all, I want to show you my office. This is my office. So if you want to come for a meeting, that's where you'll find me. My little office
So
upstairs.
this is, what do you do here, mate? This is your hammock what you just absolutely zone out in.
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, this is the office. This is where I do all my business.
Someone needs to have something like this, right?
Uh-huh.
Somewhere to just get away,
Oh, absolutely.
zone out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we move into the kind of MMA area, and what you'll see is that we have 2 boxing rings. We have an area for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the Crazy Monkey boxing system. We do movement classes, we do yoga fly, we've got the hoop there. We've got the punch bag, we've got the mat, pads, everything. Everything here that you could possibly want. Okay? So,
Stereo system.
stereo system.
Buddy, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Because you posted something on Facebook, which I'm not sure how many of our followers saw, but could you do that? What do you call that hoop?
I could do something. I'll tell you what I could do.
Because you're amazing.
I can't do the hoop unless my hoop instructor is here.
Ah,
He
okay.
needs to help me.
Right.
What I can do quickly is show you something similar. If you want to see.
Yeah, mate, we'd love to see it.
Yeah? Okay. All right. Again, I'm no expert, and my yoga fly instructor's not here, so if I fall out and break my neck, then
I'm not liable, mate.
you're not liable. Okay, so let's have a go. Let's see if I can remember. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow. Have a look at that, mate. Well done. Hey, good on you, mate.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So why can't you do that one without the instructor?
Because I fall off and break my neck. That's really difficult.
Yeah,
That one I stay away from unless I've got the medical team on standby.
Yeah, you were out of control there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a superimposed picture of you.
No, I was doing it, man. But okay, so now we kind of move out of the MMA area into the coffee shop, chill out zone. Of course, we need to have a lovely fountain.
Could you do any feng shui with this?
No, I just felt it. I just sensed it. Where I wanted everything. So then we got tree roots, and then we walk into the coffee shop.
So why? Because you were telling me yesterday, and I asked you why you named it tree roots, and you said, Mark, look at all the tree roots. But you actually went out and bought all these.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, there's
Why?
nothing.
Well, why would you collect tree roots?
Good question. I have no answer for that because I'm a little bit crazy.
That's nuts. Good on you, man. No, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I think there's too many answers for too many questions these
No
days.
idea.
This is
So here's the coffee shop, and here you have yourself a nice Bon Cafe espresso. And if you like to read,
Man, come
then
in.
we got 1 or 2 books that you can read if you want.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah.
And these are all your personal books, right?
Yeah, it comes down here as well. Look, more books.
I sat on that couch yesterday around the corner.
More books.
Brilliant.
More books. Everywhere books.
Hey, this is going to be interesting. If you have a look at this, right? For some of our younger followers, Encyclopedia Britannica, that was basically our Google.
Yeah,
How many volumes was there? 36 or something?
Here's an entire set.
Everything you needed was in
everything you
here.
needed to know. And we just do a random check. We just do a random
You
one.
pick up, right?
There you go.
What's the hard word?
Pythagoreanism. Philosophical school of religious brotherhood known as Pythagoreanism.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And that's what you used to actually go to and have, right, other than Google. That was our Google. Amazing. We've come a long way, haven't we? Unbelievable.
Hey, look at this one.
What have you got there?
Published 1879.
Wow.
Ooh.
Give a look at that. That is magic. 1879. And you're only selling it for 900 bucks.
1,000 baht.
Shit.
Gone up.
Unbelievable. Man, there's some good stuff here.
Okay.
So you can chill out here, right, if you want. Yeah.
And then,
Mate, you've even got a little apparel store here.
yeah.
So you get all your good stuff from.
Yeah, Crazy Monkey.
Hey? I like it.
Okay, and then the final kind of area would be go to the old school gym.
So Crazy Monkeys?
So we've got Crazy Monkey, which is the defensive, the boxing system
Right.
that I was telling you.
That's
that,
Rodney King. And the
then
Q23?
Q23 is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu American top team
Right.
run by Adam Kayum. who's a black belt under Ricardo Laborio, and I represent his brand down here. So boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and this one is just a generic yoga. And then,
Wow.
you come through.
Ah, it's a traditional gym. I didn't know
Traditional
this.
gym.
I didn't see it.
So really, there's everything, right? Relaxation, the MMA, the movement, the yoga, coffee, and
The traditional.
good old-fashioned lift some dumbbells.
Hey, you know, it's amazing how much you appreciate all that stuff you've got out there when you walk into something like this. This is real clinical, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just,
this is old school.
old school.
But you know, it's also good, right? A lot of people like to come in here and do their thing. It's not
Don't get me wrong, I go every day,
Yeah.
but you know, there's a vast contrast, isn't there? It's amazing. It's amazing.
And then we've got changing rooms.
Showers and stuff.
Yeah, and then upstairs we have a spare area which I mostly will turn into a hot yoga or a kind of yoga room. At the moment it's nothing. We haven't got anything going on up there at the moment. And then you've got the dip bars, you know, the old traditional stuff. And you know, that's the place, man.
Man, pretty impressive, pretty impressive. So, let's just wrap it up under the LA stuff. So, you can basically run courses here, people can come here.
Oh, you can do whatever you want. You want to, you know, do your traditional martial art, you're in a Aikido club, you're a Judo club, you're a Taekwondo club, and you want to do a summer camp, and you want to just take the place, then just ping me an email and just let me know how many people and how long, and I'll give you the best deal available.
Good, mate. And so how do people get in contact with you, Aaron?
Just go to my Facebook page, which is Tree Roots Retreat, or go to my website, which is www.treerootsretreat.com, and ping me an email.
Fantastic.
Let's make it happen.
Not resort, retreat, because I get it wrong all the time. All right, man. Pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks, man.
Mate, my brother.
Thanks.
Take care. Thanks for
Love it.
everything. Good on you.
Good.